Hey guys, so this video in your Sales Bible 101 is all about phone sales versus in-person consults. I get this question a lot. What is better, phone sales or in-person? Now, a couple of these things really depend. Now, obviously, online sales and things like that, you have no choice. You've got to get great at phone sales. But when you've got the gym, like what's going to be better, selling over the phone or in-person consults? Now, the truth is both can work. It really depends on, one, what you're willing to spend to get that person into the gym, what the numbers are telling you, but then also, what are you selling? Now, I would not categorically give someone an hour of my time in the gym to maybe buy a $97 28-day challenge, okay? If you're gonna sit down with someone, you've gotta be taking at least $250 to $300 to justify the hour of your time. And you can work out how much your hour of your time is worth when you look at what you want your business to be earning and what roles you want to be doing in the business. Because if you're not worth at least $300, then how can you possibly command the sort of money annually that you guys want to earn, okay? So what I want you to consider is it's a lower cost per acquisition for an irresistible offer sale for you to just make the sale on the phone. You're going to hit the 1 in 3, worst case scenario 1 in 4. You really want to be gunning for the 1 in 2 sales over the phone, which means your cost per acquisition, which is the real kicker, guys. Cost per lead is great, but if you can't sell your cost per acquisition, it doesn't matter whether you got $2, $3, $5, $10 leads. If you can't sell, your cost per acquisition is going to get expensive. Now, the reason why in-person sales gets more expensive and you typically need to be selling a higher price point is that you're going to have a lower show rate, right? There's just more steps, there's more costs, there's more obstacles, there's more roadblocks to you getting the money. And that is, the roadblocks are the cost per acquisition, okay? You've got to set aside someone's time. You're going to have a low show rate. You potentially could have a higher conversion because in person, people tend to buy more. Plus, if they've physically gotten out of their house, off their couch, into the car, driven to the gym, come and met you, they're probably going to buy, as opposed to me just calling Janice and having a conversation with her over the phone, okay? And that's why you should see a higher conversion in person. But if you're not seeing that, then we really need to work on the sales, and that's where the rest of the things come in, in order to optimize your sales, the script, the rapport, all these, like the tools, the things that you can do to shift it through, the Kaizen of sales, right? But what I want you guys to consider, if you're not tracking it, if you're not monitoring it, if you're measuring it, you don't know. Okay, so anyone who comes out isn't tracking the actual numbers, stop now and actually say, this is what my cost per, this is my cost per lead. This is the amount of people that show up to my consults. This is the amount of people that buy. This is their average sale. What is my cost per acquisition? Am I happy with this, or what do I need to tweak? Do I need to tweak the cost of the marketing? 100%. Do I need to tweak the show rate? Do I need to tweak the conversion? All these things will lower your CPA, okay? So phone sales, if you're great at it, go for it. You can sell whatever you want over the phone, okay? There is no cap on what you can sell. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you're doing the work in terms of trust and rapport, all right? And that's what's going to get you across the line with sales over the phone. And then in-person sales, make sure you're tracking those numbers, because while you might be converting a lot, it's easy to convert, 1 in 2 people that come for a consult. But if you had 20 leads and only one of those actually bought, you can see the numbers start to add up, and that's the number that people usually forget. They congratulate themselves on the 1 in 2 conversion or the 80% conversion of the consults, but they forget how much did it cost me to get them to consult, okay? Now look at your funnel, track your numbers, where are the cracks? Let's not wing it, guys. From now on, we're going to apply the same rules to you in business as you do to your clients with their nutrition, their training. You ask them to track, you ask them to look at what they're doing so that you can improve and monitor and measure. You need to start doing it for yourself. Now, for both versions, you should be writing notes, 100%, handwritten, pen, paper, write that shit down, and use a script. No one is above a script, guys. You really need to understand what's the flow of the conversation, okay? Now, even if you guys are doing it now, but you want someone else to do sales, you're going to need to hand them a script. So you want to make sure, you may as well just use it now, see if it works, and then handing it off to someone else is going to be a lot easier. Props and tools. Do you have an InBody or an eVault? Any of those sort of things that actually, give them a physical stat, like statistical number. You are 35% body fat, or you are 15% body fat, whatever it is. Before and afters, if you haven't got them on the wall, leave a flip chart in the reception, leave like a little book of before and afters, use it as part of your presentation. We do big seminars, to do group sales into the challenges, for the ongoing sale, and you guys will see that in the presentation, and part of that is the before and afters. It's the experience. We go through that flip chart where we go through a step by step. This is metabolic adaptation, this is cheat days, this is why you haven't got the results, reasons why you haven't, and of course it's not going to happen in 28 days, so you need it to happen. Things like body fat numbers, what do you want to look like? We do in person for longer term sales. We used to show them pictures of body fat with no percentages on them. We would then go, which one do you want to be? They would circle it, and then we would go to the body fat machine and we would scan them, and it would say, okay, you want to be 23, Janice, but you're 35%. So you can see you've got 12% to lose. Great. Now we reverse engineer the 12%, and there's trust, there's data, it's physical. It's not me just telling Janice she's fat. The machine told you you're fat, Janice. That's the difference, okay? They're the props and the tools that you can use. Now, if you're on the phone, now, of course, what this does is you need to start to think about, when I've opted in, there's usually a little bit of a period between when I speak to them or when they actually pick up the phone, okay? Now, we know that follow-up is key. We're going to talk about that. But what else you can be doing is sending them automated email sequences. And inside that automated email sequence, you might have some of these facts, these figures, these educational emails that explain to them, what is body fat? How do we track it? What do you want to look like? We can already pre-frame these questions in their head. But also, this is where free groups come into play. So if people opt in and you redirect them to a free group, those free groups might have videos in there. They might have pinned posts in there. They might have recipes. They might have ideas that talk to people about some of the things that you're going to use as your tools to sell them into your coaching long term, because we all want them long term. All right. 28 days is never enough. You always want them long term. All right, so we've talked about email sequences, rapport, smile, mirroring. We talked around smiling on the phone, even if you're on the phone. Try and have hands-free, try and have your AirPods in, use your hands, be natural, be you, okay? Now, if you're in person, same thing. You want to be focused, you want to be looking at them, you want to be smiling, you want to be engaged, you don't want to be distracted, you don't want to be looking at your phone, you don't want to be distracted by 85 people coming into reception, you don't want to get up and get down and say just 1 minute while I answer the phone. Like, you need to be dedicated to this person for the next 45 minutes to sell them. It is their time. They have set it aside for you, you've set it aside for them. Mirroring, if they're leaning forward, lean forward, not in a creepy way, but it's just a natural rapport building activity, okay? Now, energy times X, 10X on the phone, okay? You need to make sure that you feel people lift with your energy. If you're, oh my God, hey, yeah, I've been having a bit of a bad day. I don't want to buy it for you. That's pretty boring. So I want you to lift your energy. Even if you're faking it, you've got to fake it sometimes. You've got to find it. We're going to talk about mojo later on, but you need to work out how to get the energy. Do the push-ups, do something. Get yourself energetic and excited about this phone call or consult, okay? And you need to be excited about it. You need to bring your A game, all right? This is their time, not yours. If you're having a shit day, leave it at home. This is about them and changing their life, okay? And this comes back to genuine questions. Get natural with your script. Get confident with your script. Feel good about, one, what you're selling, but two, how you're selling it. And this doesn't mean there is never going to be a sales process, guys. Please don't demonize sales. And we will talk about this. Why is sales bad? It is helping people. So ask genuine questions and get super confident with how you sell. Now, this comes down to a little bit more about he who dials the most wins, okay? And we're going to go into this because it's so important and it forms part of the how you're selling and how you need to be confident with it, because it's beyond important, guys. Follow up, and we're going to talk about the keys to follow up, so much more, but I'm going to touch on a few things here. How many times should you call a lead and when? The question is, you should just keep dialing. You should be calling people at least 2 to 3 times per day, okay? They're different time slots, and of course you should be trialing as much you can to get that person on the phone. People are busy. People have a lot going on. There's nothing wrong with you doing your best to get contact with them. You didn't pull them out of a phone book. They opted in for you to call them. So some of my favorite ones are, guys never answer the first phone call, not even from their wives, okay? So dial, hang up, dial again, and then send them a text, and of course an email. And we go through this a little bit more in a separate video, but of course you should be having multiple contact points a day. And for me, the email usually comes at the end of the day. Hey Bob, I've tried to contact you. I'll give you a call again tomorrow, okay? Dial, text, dial, email. My favorite for girls, okay? Girls don't like answering unknown numbers. So you dial, send them a text. Hey Julie, it's Liv from RBT, just giving you a buzz about the challenge. I'll try you again in 30 minutes. All right. I'm not explaining the challenge. I'm just saying I'm setting the expectation. I'm going to call again. And then straight away, I dial her again because Julie is reading my text and the amount of people that accidentally answer then is a phenomenal. And then for you, it's simply like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize. I thought I was ringing the next number. The overwhelming. It's been so much fun. How many people want to do the challenge? I'm really excited to talk to you though. Do you have a minute? Okay. Now, it's just about going through that process with them and being really confident and happy and excited, okay? Now, follow-up is not optional. That should be is, not if. It is not optional. You have to have a follow-up process, okay? You have to have automated emails. You have to be texting people. You have to be emailing people, and you have to be calling them. Please don't rely on people to just buy stuff. There is so many things to buy, and I know you know you're great. They don't know you're great. They just will buy from the person who follows them up the most. I promise you. And the percentages do not lie about this. Now, alerts are critical to getting hold of leads quickly. Don't rely on like, oh my God, it's like Saturday and I completely forgot to check my leads and I've got leads from like Wednesday and expecting them to be as hot as they were on Wednesday, okay? There is no excuse for not getting hold of people straight away. So set up the alerts. There's a whole section on this with the systems and the automations where we can set this up with Slack. You can set it up with Gmail if you check your Gmail, if you get those alerts on your phone, but you want to call leads as quickly as possible. It's never too soon. Okay, now if they're opting in at 11 o'clock, probably don't call them at 11 o'clock. But if they're opting in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, pick up the phone and call them. Now, I respect time blocks, and we talk about time blocks later, but also for you guys who are still building up the business, you guys want to be trying to get hold of leads as quickly as possible. And remember, guys, overarchingly, you are helping people. Sales is not evil, okay? You are helping people. They've asked for help and you are the solution. And if you're really great at what you do, you will be the solution to their problem. And that's exciting. That's awesome, okay? Be grateful for you have the opportunity to change these people's lives. You must change their lives. It's the least you can do, okay? Don't fear rejection. As I said before, lock it into your brain. You will be rejected. How are you going to overcome it? What opportunities are you going to find for every roadblock? Find another opportunity. People actually object when they're on the edge of change. It's the edge of their comfort zone. They're unsure. They're scared. You have to be there for them to carry them across the line. Okay. Now, it's not in a bad way. You're not being deceptive. You're just presenting them with the opportunities. You're challenging them on their fixed mindset. You're trying to open up the realm of change and opportunities, this amazing community that you have in your gym. Okay. And consider, why do we view sales as evil? I would blame a lot of our childhood, guys. Money isn't evil, okay? Your business, if it makes money, means it can change more lives, means you can employ people to change more lives and in turn change their lives, okay? You're not out there, stealing money from hungry children. You are doing a great thing, and that great thing allows you to live the life that you want, to provide for your family that you want to provide to, and of course, change the lives of your staff, your members, and just be a great member of community. So guys, don't stress. Sales is not evil, and just enjoy the process.